slightly tilted like me, but it's okay. So, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you all?
Good.
It's actually a pleasure to be here. This is my first visit to Desert Divas. Although Usha has been speaking to me for a while about it. And I felt very comfortable. The reason being, I've always been surrounded by women. Don't get me wrong. I had one mother and 4 elder sisters.
Wow.
My life revolved around 5 mothers. My mom is no more with me, but my other 4 sisters who are like mothers is still there. And they still treat me like a kid. Although their own kids have kids, yeah? They tell me, no, you are still a kid. I said, no, I've grown up. I said, we can't see it. So for us, you're still a kid. Anyway, so the thing is, table topics is a wonderful session that we have in the Toastmasters meeting. For some guests who are present here for the first time, they may not know much about it, but it's basically to improve your impromptu speaking skills. Yeah? And impromptu speaking skills are very important?
Yes.
Yeah. I see all the married ladies very fast. Yeah? It's more important for the husbands. Huh? A lot of men join Toastmasters only to learn impromptu speaking. And most of them are married men. Because you get some questions, and if you don't give the right answer within the right time, you are
So we are good here.
So today I am going to share some of those secrets with you. Okay. Yeah? But please, don't harass your husbands after going home. What happens is, this is a very interesting session, but most of the time, when the table topic master comes here and asks for volunteers, people start looking here, there, everywhere. They don't want to see face to face with the table topic master because they feel, they'll get called. People get scared, and to some extent the culprit is the table topic master, because before coming itself they say, this is a session which will make you, your legs will shake, this will shake, you will get so nervous. Already the people are scared, and then they will come here and scare them more. So that is one reason why people get scared. But what I want to tell you is that in these 14 years that I have spent with Toastmasters, I have learned a few simple tips, and these are very, very basic tips. Yeah. No rocket science involved, but these basic tips have been quite useful for me and for a lot of Toastmasters to attempt and get better at table topics. You're given a topic and you're asked to speak for a minimum of 1 minute to a maximum of 2.5 minutes. But that practice that you do here in the Toastmasters meeting actually prepares you for the life outside in the real world. Because in the real world, you get so many opportunities where you need to be quick on your feet, quick thinking, immediate reply to whatever has been asked you. So, my intention in this is to all those people who say, why me? Why am I being called, man? You could have called somebody else. I just want even one of you who are like that, if I can convince you to change to try me. Yeah, what do you mean? So when the table topic master comes here, you say, hey, try me, give me a topic. Yeah, that's the small change that I want happening, and using these simple tips it can easily happen. Timer, please give me 15, 17, 20. Yeah? Good. So what happens is, whenever you think of table topics, that happens in a Toastmasters club. So can Usha throw a topic, any topic that comes to your mind? Normally, what are the kind of topics you get?
Topics I get?
No, whatever. Any topic that comes to your mind?
What
does the table topic master gives?
Yeah, I've had this. What does love mean to you?
Interesting. What does love mean to you? Anybody else? Any topic coming to your mind? Just throw it.
Why is it important to color your hair?
That was a pointed question. I'll tell you later.
Chance or choice.
Chance or choice. Okay.
Men or women who's smarter.
Now, what do you see common among all these topics? Anything, did you notice anything common among
It's
the
a question.
It's a question.
Question.
Most of them are questions.
Yeah.
So whenever you come here, most of the time a topic that is thrown at you would be a question which needs to be answered. So the thing that comes to my mind is, okay, we need to answer the question. Okay? The second thing is, we are all people who know something about everything. We are not dumbos that we don't know absolutely nothing about a particular thing. I enjoyed the icebreakers, the P1s, and I heard many of you are so well educated, and you're postgraduates, masters, whatever, work experience. So in our life, in our journey of life, we have learned so many things in different ways. By reading books in our school, by talking to people, whatever. Yeah. Whatever you heard, whatever you saw, whatever you've experienced. So we all know a little bit about everything. And the magic in Toastmasters is to add that your own story to that topic, your own experience, your own feelings, your own knowledge what you have gained, That personal touch needs to be there. Yeah, that personal story, that personal experience, personal anecdote. And that would come in the body of the speech. Yeah? And then what is required is a structure. So whether I am speaking here for 1 minute or an hour's educational session or a full day training, I need to have a structure. I need to have an opening, a body and a conclusion. So whether it is a table topic speech, whether it is a project speech, whether it is an educational session, whether it is an evaluation, everything needs to have a structure, yeah? An opening, body and a conclusion. So now let's take the first thing, which is answering the question. Now, the tips that I give here is not the only tips available to attempt table topics. There are thousands of tips available. But we don't have the time, 20 minutes here. So I will just give you a couple of tips. Now, answering the question, I will say, keep it towards the end. This is one tip, to close your speech. If this is not the only way, like I said, there may be other ways, and you can experiment with that. But one thing which works well is to answer the question in the end. Why do I say this? Because, say for example, you are given a topic, what is your favorite cake? And you come here and you say, oh, my favorite cake is chocolate cake. Now that took just about 5 seconds to answer, or 10 seconds, but then you don't know what to say next, because you've already answered the question. Now what do I do for the rest of the time? Yeah, till the green light comes on. Otherwise I'll be disqualified. Take the cup back home. Big tension. So my solution is, keep the answering towards the end. So you go through the opening, you go through the body of the speech, and then you say, hence my favorite cake is chocolate cake. So you've already described reasons why it is your favorite cake, and you concluded the conclusion with an answering the question. How does it help? Start away from the answer, work towards it. Yeah. So ending is the conclusion, the answer. Prevents rambling. Rambling means going here and there, helter-skelter. Why? Because you know exactly what the answer is towards the end I'm going to say. So you know what are the specific points you will talk about to close it with that ending, and automatically gives you a conclusion. Now again, like I said, this is just one tip. Yeah? There are so many other ways that you can end the speech. So once the conclusion is done, then let's move to the next part, which is the body of the speech. Now this is the most interesting part, because this is where you spend maximum time. The opening you spend a few seconds, the closing you spend a few seconds, but the body of the speech is where you spend the maximum amount of time. First idea is always best, don't self-censor. Now why I say this, because many times people get into this trap of, should I say this or should I say that? Yeah. So in table topics, go with the thought that came to your mind first. Say for example, you get a topic, is watching television good for children? Most of the mothers sitting here would immediately say no. Isn't it? But as you are walking towards the stage, you start thinking, no, there are some good things also about watching television. There are some education programs and news and all these things. So by the time you come here, you are confused. Now should I say yes or should I say no? Yeah? So don't get confused. If the first thought that came to your mind is watching television is not good for children, go with that. After you finish the speech, and if somebody comes and debates with you, why did you say that? You say, no, now I think it is good for children. Change your mind, what's the problem? You understand? So, but just for that 2 minutes, go with the flow that came first. Yeah, don't get confused. There is no wrong answer. Whether somebody somebody says watching television is good for children, or somebody says watching television is not good for children, how does it matter? Both of them are right, both of them are wrong, isn't it? Because in this world, there is, my way and there is your way. But for that, the only way or the perfect way, there is nothing like that. It's all our perspectives, our experience. Yeah? Your own experience is the best story. So if it is about watching TV for children, you go with your own experience, with your own kids or with your neighbor's kids or with your uncle's kids, auntie's kids, whoever, your cousin's kids. You see what kind of experience you can relate to that particular topic and you go with it. Because your story, what happens is when you add your story to any speech, that speech is more interesting for the audience and that speech is interesting for you to talk about, because it's your own story. You put your feelings into it, yeah? You are actually reliving those experiences and that comes across very well. And that makes it more interesting for you as well as for the audience. Few other tips that I can give as far as the body of the speech is concerned, your own opinion, like I said, whether we should watch TV, we shouldn't watch TV, yeah? Whatever it is, you give your opinion. Cause and effect. Sometimes certain topics can be tackled by using this technique, which is cause and effect is, say for example, pollution in Delhi is the latest news for Indians, right? People are trying to run away. Anybody here from Delhi? I have nothing against Delhi now. But, after the Diwali and all those things, pollution levels are high. So you say what caused those problems, and then what is the effect of those problems, and probably how we can solve it. You could use that, depending on the topic, of course. Past, present and future. So if there is a topic about technologies, for example, I would say, okay, what used to happen in the past, what is happening currently and what do you foresee happening in the future? Because technology is changing so fast, isn't it? Books, TV, anecdotes, anything that you have read, anything that you have seen on TV, anything that you have experienced. Pros and cons. Is watching television good for children? Maybe you are very clear that there are positives, there are negatives. So you come here and talk about the pros and cons. Yeah, I'll give you 2 reasons why it is not good and 2 reasons why it is good. Yeah, and then later on if you want to take a stand, go with it, no problem. Yeah? But you balance. Break up ideas and deal with components. Now this happens normally when the table topic master gets into a naughty mood. They give us such a topic that by the time she I say because it was all ladies, she finishes the topic, you have forgotten the first part of the topic. Because it's much taller than me also. Now what happens is when they confuse you with such complicated topics, just take one part of the topic and speak about it. Simple. Don't get confused, oh, I didn't understand the whole topic. Can you repeat what you said? Kalivali. Just talk about what comes to your mind. Topic, yeah? You all know the meaning of Kalivali, no? I'm not abusing anybody, no? Okay. In the body of the speech, some more techniques, tell the truth. Now we have always been taught since childhood, especially I see a lot of Indians here. My mother used to tell me that if you're telling the truth, look into my eyes. Yeah? Meaning you should always tell the truth, yeah?
Correct.
It's good to tell the truth. Yeah? So when you are in a table topic speech here, tell the truth, if possible. Yeah? But if you want to look up some story,
Can I do that much? Yeah.
I mean, in real life, don't tell lies. But in a table topic speech, you can. We even have tall tales, where we laugh about things. So it's okay. We are just experimenting with our speaking skills. Yeah. So tell lies if you want to. Cook up some stories, no problem. Yeah. Think in threes. Now this is a very, very powerful tool which works very well. Which is, you don't need to take notes because I'll share this presentation, can be sent to all the members. What happens is, say for example, the topic is watching television good for children. You come here and you say, watching television, you start with the opening, and you start with the body, and then you say, I will give you 3 reasons why it is not good for children. And you start with point number 1, okay? Then you go to point number 2, and then you end with the point number 3. So, 1, 2, 3. Don't go for more than 3 because it's just 1 to 2 minutes, you don't have time. Yeah, 3 is good enough. The question what was asked to me is, VP, what if I don't remember all the 3 points? If only 1 point has come to your mind, you still say to the audience, I'll give you 3 reasons. And you start with point number 1. Believe me, as you speak about point number 1, point number 2, will come to your mind. As you speak about point number 2, point number 3 will come to your mind. Guaranteed. In worst case, after point number 2, point number 3 didn't come to your mind. What happens? What do you do? Don't repeat point number 1. Give them 2 points.
Just go to
Give them 2 points. Only 2 points enough for today.
Multiplying.
Yeah. The third point I'll give you later. No problem, nothing to worry. But believe me, that will never happen. Because as you speak the first, the second will come. As you speak the second, the third will come. Right up. Yeah? Very powerful. If you really get stuck, say for example, you are given a topic. What is your favorite cake? Yeah? And there is somebody in the audience who got this topic and they don't know what is a cake. Like yesterday I was in a meeting and they were talking about Diwali, and one person said, what is firecrackers? I don't know firecrackers. So I presume he may know about it in some other way. Yeah, I don't know. So, because everybody knows what is a firecracker, right? So say you get a topic, what is your favorite cake, and you've never heard about a cake. You don't know anything about a cake. Yeah, nothing. So you're totally lost. What is this cake? I mean, I have never heard what it is. So what do? Normally people, I don't know what it is. Can you change the topic? Get flustered. No, don't. If you don't know what is a cake, what do?
Talk about
Talk
pizza.
about a mango. Simple. Who cares? Speak about it. My only caution here, don't do it in a contest. Because in a contest, you have scores for attempting the topic. So if you walk away from the topic, you will not get that score. Otherwise, in a club contest, why should you get, in a normal session, don't get flustered. You don't know what is a cake, talk about anything. Talk about Usha, talk about this projector, talk about BPMN. Interesting topic. The thing is, you need to speak for that 2 minutes that you have. See, stage time. Why do we come here to this meeting? To improve our speaking skills. The more stage time you use, the better you become. In 14 years, I've been using a lot of stage time. Every time I called, I run and come. Yeah, I'm not doing you a favor. You're doing me a favor by giving me stage time. Because when I speak here, I improve a little bit more. Simple, isn't it? So use that and speak about anything that comes to your mind, but never do it in a contest. I'm not responsible if you do that in a contest. So what did we finish? We finished the conclusion by answering the question. We talked about few tips to attempt the body of the speech. Now the opening. Is it very difficult to open? Few seconds to open the table topic speech? That's where many people struggle. How do I start? Isn't it? There are few tips which makes it very easy to start a table topic speech. Some of the tips are repeat or summarize question and pause. Now this is magic. So when you come here, you say, okay, is watching television good for children? Is the topic you want to. So come look at the audience, smile, and then say, is watching television good for children? Now what did you do? You just repeated the topic. But those few seconds that you get when you repeat the topic, thoughts will come into your mind what to say next. It just comes. Yeah, try it out. Very easy. Use a quote. Now, there were some nice quotes I heard today. People love it, and there's millions of quotes out there. Yeah, and you can choose some nice quote which goes with the topic. But don't be one of those people, and we have a couple of them in Toastmasters who come with 5-10 quotes under their table. And they have decided from home, whatever be the topic I'm going to say. Now that can go wrong badly. Yeah? Because if you tell a quote which is not relevant to that topic, it doesn't make sense. So if a quote comes to your mind relevant to the topic, use it. Yeah? Otherwise, forget it. You can use this next time, somewhere else. Yeah? Use a rhetorical question. Again, that few seconds that you get when you ask that question. Now, again, let's talk about that topic. Is watching television good for children? So you come here, confidently look at the audience and ask the audience, how many of you watch television? Or how many of you have television at home? Honestly, I don't want to know. It's just a rhetorical question. But the moment I ask that question, the people sleeping in the audience also wake up. What did you ask? So one, you get the audience attention. Second, that few seconds gives you time to think what to say next. Yeah, works pretty well. Yeah. And the other thing is start with an anecdote. So, for example, what is your favorite cake? So I start the opening, with my experiences of my grandmother making those wonderful cakes and how we used to, play with those cakes and, splash it on each other's face and the birthday celebrations and all those things. So I start with a story and then slowly come towards the body and the conclusion by saying that. Hence, chocolate cake is my favorite cake. So you start with a story or an anecdote at the beginning. If some story or anecdote comes to your mind. Few generic tips again. I know I'm slightly off track on time. Can I take a couple of minutes more? Yeah. Listen carefully to the topic. This is very important. So if you want to attempt the topic well, listen carefully. Yeah. Don't be looking at, what sari is she wearing? You'll be able to master this topic. Yeah. You can look at that later. Focus on the topic. When you come here, don't immediately jump and start speaking. Come here, listen to the topic, look at the audience, give a pause, give a good smile. You got those few seconds to think and then speak. Smile. It's always nice to smile. People love people who smile. Yeah? So when you smile, you are also at ease, the audience is also at ease. Otherwise, you put both of us in trouble. Yeah? Salutations, if you remember. I didn't remember today, right? Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, whatever. Be expressive in words and gestures, meaning use your body language, use your facial expressions, live that. Whatever you are saying, makes it more interesting. Just study doesn't make sense, right? Use your body language, use your facial expressions. Add humor if possible. If something humorous, relevant to the topic comes to your mind, use it. But don't be one of those people, no, I have to be humorous. Because only if I am humorous, they will vote for me. Nothing like that. If your content is strong, they will vote for you. Yeah? But if there is humor, it helps. Yeah? There is humor, it helps. Don't apologize. Like I said, if you don't know anything about a cake, Kali speak about an apple, or a mango, or Usha, or Nisha, or whatever. There's so many shahs. And my request, speak for the full 2 minutes. Don't be one of those members who just waits for the light to become green and then run away. Because if you run away from the stage, you are doing great injustice to nobody but yourself. Because you are missing out on 1 minute of stage time. Now, I've got only 20 minutes. I'm taking much more. Grab the stage time as much as you can. Yeah. She's even switched off the light. This is her way of telling, please get out of here. Just 1 minute or something. Announce TMI suggested way, the topics. I mean, this is for the table topic master. I don't know how you do it here. I've not seen it. I don't think today there is a table topic section. But TMI suggests that you first throw the topic and then call somebody to speak on it. Why? Because when you call Nisha, to come here and then give the topic, what happens? Everybody else is sleeping. Only Nisha is awake because isn't it? Everybody else. But when you throw the topic, what happens is everybody is awake, they are thinking about the topic because they don't know who's going to be called. And just that thinking helps you to improve your impromptu speaking skills.
Right.
Yeah, that's why it's a recommendation. Align topic to the theme of the day if possible. Short and easy to understand. Don't get them into... See, as a table topic master, your responsibility is to make them speak for that 2 minutes. Don't come here, I will give such topics that they will not speak for even 5 seconds. No. By doing that, you have not done justice to your role. You do justice to your role if you are able to make them speak. Make them feel comfortable and put speaker at ease. Don't say, oh, you know what, this is a session where your heart will come out, your lung will come out. Tell them it's a very nice session, it's a very interesting session. It's a very, it's a session which adds a lot of value. Yeah? Make it very motivating so when they come here, they're motivated to speak. Yeah, that's how I'm going to table topic master. Contest I will skip for now. So how many of you will say try me when the table topic master comes here? Fantastic. Thank you very much for the opportunity.